Imagine being buried alive inside a machine of war, unable to move, unable to feel, yet fully awake. Imagine centuries passing not as memories, but as endless moments of awareness, filled only with the echo of old battles, the screams of long-dead brothers, and the constant hum of a sarcophagus that will never open. In the Imperium of Man, there is a mercy given even to the most broken heroes: sleep. But what happens when a Dreadnought refuses that mercy? What happens when an immortal warrior, entombed in steel and faith, decides that rest is weakness and silence is surrender? This is not a story of glory or victory. This is the story of what the Imperium fears most: what happens when a living relic refuses to sleep and chooses eternal wakefulness in a universe that devours the mind. A Dreadnought is not merely a war machine, it is a coffin that walks, carrying within it the shattered remains of a space marine who was too valuable to die. Mortally wounded on the battlefield, these warriors are sealed inside armored sarcophagi and connected directly to ancient engines of destruction. They are kept alive by arcane technology and sacred rituals, their bodies reduced to fragments, their existence balanced between life and death. To preserve what remains of their sanity, most Dreadnoughts are placed into long periods of dormancy, awakened only when war demands their presence. This enforced sleep is not comfort, it is survival. Without it, the human mind, even one enhanced by the Emperor's gene seed, begins to fracture under the weight of centuries. Yet not all Dreadnoughts accept this fate. Some refuse to sleep. Some demand to remain awake, clinging to duty, hatred, or the fading memory of who they once were. To them, dormancy feels like death, like betrayal of the oaths they swore as living space marines. They listen to the world through distant sensors, speak in ancient battle cant, and relive wars that ended thousands of years ago. Over time, the line between past and present dissolves. Voices of fallen brothers return. Enemies long destroyed feel close enough to strike. The Imperium calls these warriors honored ancients, but behind the prayers and reverence lies a terrible truth: a Dreadnought who refuses to sleep does not remain unchanged. He becomes something else, something powerful, unstable, and deeply tragic. And in a galaxy where there is only war, even immortality can become a punishment. The reason Dreadnoughts are meant to sleep is not mercy, but necessity. Inside the sarcophagus, the warrior's body is reduced to little more than a living core, sustained by tubes, fluids, and sacred machinery. Sensory input is limited and artificial, filtered through machine logic rather than human feeling. Time loses meaning. Minutes stretch into hours, hours into years, and years into centuries. Even for a space marine, whose mind has been strengthened by gene seed and indoctrination, this state of existence is unbearable if experienced continuously. Dormancy was created to preserve sanity, to allow the mind to shut down before it collapses under the weight of endless awareness. While asleep, a Dreadnought does not dream as humans do. Instead, neural activity is dampened, memories are locked away, and the passage of time becomes nothing more than a blank void. Without this enforced rest, memories replay again and again, battles loop endlessly, and the warrior begins to lose the ability to distinguish thought from reality. Tech priests understand this danger well. Rituals of awakening and sleep are carefully controlled, because every moment of consciousness costs something. The Imperium does not fear losing a Dreadnought's body, it fears losing the mind inside it. Sleep is the thin line between a revered ancient and a broken relic that can no longer be trusted. When a Dreadnought refuses dormancy, it is often born from obsession. Some believe their duty is eternal and that rest says betrayal to fallen brothers. Others fear sleep because it feels too close to death, a final surrender they are not ready to accept. These warriors demand to remain awake, insisting that vigilance is honor and silence is weakness. At first, the change is subtle. They speak more often, recounting old campaigns with disturbing clarity. They question their handlers, criticize modern tactics, and compare the present Imperium unfavorably to the past they remember. Chapters may tolerate this, mistaking it for wisdom. But centuries of wakefulness begin to erode restraint. The Dreadnought grows impatient, restless, and aggressive. He demands battle, not because it is needed, but because it is the only thing that still gives his existence meaning. The Mechanicus may protest, warning of neural degradation, but political and spiritual reverence often override caution. After all, who dares silence a hero who fought in wars now considered legend? And so the Dreadnought remains awake, slowly drifting away from the brother he once was. As the centuries pass, the psychological cost becomes impossible to ignore. Memory fragments overlap, ancient enemies appear as if they still live, and long-dead commanders are spoken to as though they stand nearby. The Dreadnought may refer to current battlefields by names that have not existed for thousands of years. His mind, unable to process endless time, collapses it inward. Rage becomes easier to access than reason. Faith twists into fanaticism. In some cases, the Dreadnought begins to hear whispers, not from the living, but from the warp itself. Chaos preys on exhaustion and obsession, and an eternally awake mind is fertile ground. Even loyal chapters fear this stage, because corruption does not always announce itself openly. Sometimes it appears as excessive zeal, as merciless slaughter justified in the Emperor's name. The Dreadnought believes he is becoming purer, more devoted, while in truth his identity is disintegrating. He is no longer fighting for the Imperium as it is, but for a memory of it that exists only in his fractured mind. At this point, the question is no longer whether he should sleep, but whether he can be saved at all. On the battlefield, an unsleeping Dreadnought is both a weapon and a liability. His experience spans ages, his reactions are honed by countless wars, and his hatred burns hotter than that of younger warriors. When unleashed, he is devastating. He advances without hesitation, absorbs punishment that would destroy tanks, and tears through enemies with terrifying efficiency. But discipline begins to erode. Orders are interpreted through outdated doctrines. Tactical withdrawals are ignored. Collateral damage is dismissed as irrelevant. Allies may find themselves endangered by a warrior who no longer values the present, only the destruction of whatever enemy stands before him. Commanders learn to give simpler orders, or avoid deploying him unless absolutely necessary. The Dreadnought does not understand restraint, because restraint belongs to a future he no longer recognizes. To him, every battle is the same eternal war, and every enemy is the one that wounded him long ago. In the end, the Imperium faces a cruel choice. To force a Dreadnought into dormancy against his will is seen as dishonor, yet allowing him to remain awake risks madness, corruption, or catastrophic loss. Some are sealed away in forgotten vaults, entombed within their sarcophagi and left conscious but isolated, a fate worse than death. Others are deployed until destruction finally claims them, their chapters choosing martyrdom over containment. A few are granted eternal sleep, their systems shut down permanently, their legends preserved while the truth is buried. These warriors were once heroes who refused to die, and in doing so, condemned themselves to an existence without rest. In Warhammer 40,000, immortality is not a gift. When a Dreadnought refuses to sleep, he does not defy death, he extends his suffering, becoming a monument to the Imperium's greatest tragedy, endless war without peace, even in the mind. And so, the story of the sleepless Dreadnought comes full circle, leaving behind a haunting question: is eternal wakefulness strength, or is it the cruelest form of punishment? A warrior who refuses sleep defies the very mercy the Imperium grants, clinging to duty and memory while sacrificing sanity and soul. He becomes both legend and warning, a living relic whose power is matched only by the danger he brings to himself and those around him. In a galaxy defined by endless war, even immortality offers no reprieve. The Dreadnought who chooses to remain awake may fight with unmatched ferocity, but every victory is tinged with tragedy, every battle a reminder that life without rest is not freedom, but a slow descent into obsession and madness. The Imperium venerates these heroes, yet secretly fears them, for they are proof of a truth no soldier wants to face: survival at all costs can sometimes be a curse rather than a blessing. In the end, the sleepless Dreadnought is a mirror to the galaxy itself, immortal, relentless, and eternally at war, not only with its enemies but with the weight of time, memory, and the unyielding truth that there can be no rest for those who refuse it.